look like asthma for teens may actually be something else. This is a health condition on the rise locally. WSBT-22's Darla Hernandez joins us live here in the studio with this special Mom's First report. And Darla, doctors say this is actually being misdiagnosed.
That's exactly right, Jennifer. Local doctors say more and more teen athletes are being diagnosed with asthma, and it's the wrong diagnosis, which means athletes are going untreated and are having severe health problems during sports.
Scary. You never want to know that your kid's in pain.
For Cheryl Bauer's daughter, Sydney, it should have been an amazing freshman year. She made the varsity cross-country team at Buchanan High School, but instead it became a frightening nightmare.
At a meet where another parent actually pulled her off the course because after 1 mile in, her lips were blue.
Sydney had been suffering from what they thought to be asthma, but test after test, trying various inhalers, and still nothing seemed to work.
The scariest part was at one of the races, I was actually standing at the finish line, and I was probably 20 feet away from her, and I could hear her breathing.
Sydney finally went to Dr. Jim Harris at the South Bend Clinic. He found that she did not have asthma. Instead, she had vocal cord dysfunction.
Well, I'm seeing more all the time, and the typical patient that I see is the patient who's been diagnosed or being treated for asthma. They get an inhaler, they try it at their event or their sport, and it just doesn't seem to work for them. And the reason is that it's not really asthma.
Dr. Harris says vocal cord dysfunction occurs when the vocal cords do not open correctly. The symptoms are very similar to asthma: difficulty breathing, coughing, wheezing, throat tightness. But unlike asthma, vocal cord dysfunction causes more difficulty breathing in than breathing out.
It can be extremely frightening and scary to witness, but no one ever dies from it. On the other hand, I've seen very good athletes who had their performance really compromised and sometimes even had to drop out of sports because this became such an issue for them. So it's a very important thing to identify.
Sydney's mom says finally getting the right diagnosis was a major relief.
He was able to give us some medication, and it's basically taken it away.
The Bauers are a family of athletes. Cheryl says this condition will not slow Sydney down.
During the middle of the race, she doesn't have to stop and use an inhaler.
And Dr. Harris says that most common age group for this condition to happen is during high school, and that's mostly because these athletes are really starting to get pushed at a much higher level during sports.
And coaches probably need to be more aware of something like this too.
That's exactly right, Jennifer. Dr. Harris says that oftentimes coaches think that these athletes really aren't putting in the work or enough effort when really they have a medical condition.
It's something else
that can be easily treated.
Yeah, it's a good story, Darla. Thanks.